legislative proceedings, and just waiting for governor's assent to the bill. Then Anambra State, Lagos State also started that. Recently now, the Nigerian prison law, that's correctional services, it has been removed from being on exclusive legislative list to concurrent list, so the states can have their say on that, and it's quite good development, because it will help our prisons to decongest, because most of those persons in correctional service, I mean in the prison or correctional services, they were being tried under state laws, and keeping them there without state having their stake in terms of both speedy justice and all that, and even putting up structures, because before now states cannot do that. So but this law now will help the state to fully get into the correctional services and be able to help their plight, because some of these sites we see on the internet sometimes whenever someone visits there, it's not a good site, and government going in there to implement policies, and then speedy dispensation of justice, and the congestion of prison. I mean, it's very good, and I hope that.
So it's going to really help to congest prisons.
Definitely, it's a good development, and when it's passed, and when the governor has sent that law, yes, the bill is going to foster good living in that prison, definitely.
All right, let's have your thoughts.
Okay. I should come in now?
Yes.
First of all, let me correct a little mistake. Uche Chira, not really Mobi. Mobi is my Facebook name user. Okay? So, thank you. Honorable Uche Chira is my name. So, good morning, listeners. Yes, in addition to what my colleague has just said now, I think it's a very good idea. When we talk about this correctional, some people don't seem to understand exactly what it means. It meant simply prisoners, prison, jail, and all that, jail reforms. So I just want to add something to it. What I want to say is this. I think the government is a good idea, and government should, in their efforts to revamp the prison services, they should start what I observed abroad, what I've seen other countries doing.
In the correctional centers?
Yes. What they do is this: they build the correctional place, correctional center with courts round about it and police station. So in this case, because the problem we have in Nigeria is this issue of ATM, awaiting trial. Remember, so because of vehicles, some of them are not taken to court. So when you build court right in the prison wall, around about the prison, it makes it very easy. A police station is there, court is there, the prison is there. So you don't really need to use transportation to take anybody. If anybody is arrested, the transfers you should be transferred. It will be transferred to the correctional facilities, and here you have court, here you have police station, here you have all that you needed for justice.
There's no issue of no logistics or no
exactly. So I think that will be the very best idea. So we can decongest our prisons as well as detention centers.
Okay. Well, the phone lines to call us on is 0706-538-1320. Or as well, you can send us a message on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number 0705-113-8812. Hello, good morning. Champions. Your name and location.
Once you grow up from in that
no.
Because country on and have no child at the vacation. You get to know your law or jails with it. And on your open ababi on our people at your they vacation in car. Something put in place to make sure that our life and property. So people travel vacation now. ọ dabakwa ha adaba ya gwa anyị na oche chekọp ka anyị maa na ọ jekọp ka oche mana ịbịacha anyị na oge evacuation eso m na onye rụọ ọrụ eji evacuation otu amatara m na ọkụkọrọkụ na evacuation maka na ọ na-abịa ọrụ na ABS dị nwa akwụkwọ uche ga-egote evacuation mkpochi maka na ị na-abịakwa ọrụ mana onye ada alụ n'ọrụ asị na oge evacuation ọ dabakwa.
Thank you so much for that input. Remember that you can as well send us messages on Facebook through the Facebook account there, Anambra Broadcasting Service. Drop your comments there on the live stream. We'll do well to take up your message when we see them. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Good morning.
Good morning. Please move away from your radio set.
Good morning.
All right, go on.
Yeah, happy to hear from the analyst about the correctional service being the most exclusive to concurrent list.
Yeah.
My question is there's a degree there that I don't understand. Because if you legislate, you have oversight function. Now that the second analysis was talking about construction, and the state that is not doing prison districts now, their state, what is the level of sharing between federal government and the state in a situation like this? Because when you have a situation like this that is and you have a degree there, the federal might will definitely come into play. It's just like what I'm talking about state police and what have you now. Eventually in Nigeria, because of the way we are, the federal might will always take precedence in what is happening. So I thank God that the state has made I congratulate the assembly, but then there's something from their green lines that they're supposed to study that. Good morning and God bless Anambra.
All right, thank you so much. We'll take a short break here. Once we return, we'll take a look at stories from the national dailies, as well have your thoughts and opinion on them. We'll be right back.
to Exchangers International General Wenekene Executive Governor Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwu Soludo, CFR, Odenibo Agwata, Oluwatwebu Anambra State, Maka Olomanile on Alona Anambra State, or Katasin, Coast Wene Mekotange to Exchangers International. Mr. Governor Chaliwambafo, Anya Chefudu, Yukina, Ikago Bubu Animezino Nani, Ibezina, Ibezinu, Ibekwazi Ezinwane, Ole Mecheranya, Webichanya Miri, Wesoni, Dabaniri, Nitinka, Anibugot Exchangers International, most Nere Ezuma for Anambra State, when I see you, actually Magachi Ozo, Ibe, Medina Hopotozo, Adame, Machia Ikuba Bon, Nihin only in Alona Anambra State, the Animan, only in Alobo, Onye Luoka, Ohonanya, Anina Bogi, all battle BNB to Exchangers International. Kachineke Mezioku, Ogologon de Exchangers International, Ogologon de Anambra State, Ogologon de Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chaliwa Mbafo, Ogonibo Agwata, Ola Togu Anambra State, all battle BNB to Exchangers International is a goal. Pastor Austin Ugokolo, Chairman Exchangers International, Engineer Edmond Ndekama, Secretary, Honorable Emma Okala, MOL, Member Board of Trustees, Exchangers International, Rotorozia. Until
Mega Billion promo n'ebe a site Monday ruo Saturday n'elekere asaa nke mgbede. Ọtụtụ ndị Naijiria ga-enwe ike mere nke ukwuu. Ịbanye bụ naanị ka ịpịnye star 900 hash n'ekwentị MTN gị. Ọ bụla itinyere eruru ₦100 ma nke karịrị ya ga-agụnyere gị ma mụbaa gị ohere ndaba mmeri. Tinye ego n'ekwentị gị taa ma merie n'ego ndende. Usoro na ọnọdụ nọkwa. Gaa na www.mtn.ng maka nkọwa ndị ọzọ. Promo a ga-adị ruo ụbọchị 21 n'ọnwa Septemba.
Here you go there. Mom, you didn't add milk. No need to. Taste it and see why. Wow, but how? Is it milky? Yes. Is it creamy? Yes. That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk. I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your child win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! John Bosco, wait to OB. Did you call it on? I'm very credit. Yeah, maybe Jake will come back. And the mother John Bosco, MTN with a broken gist. MTN gave me in Kajato, Kibaritakuka. You can let him 1,500 rupees. Makeba MTN better gist. Piasta 123 star 2 star 1 hash. Mobisigara BG 312. Imalitela o. Killing Kuka MTN gave me. You will sort
Chai, my head oh. Ogala Lord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test. Yes, see result oh. Ogala Lord, no be your village people. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine. We dey knock down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Hey, thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey can't pay.
Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
The First Great Gospel Church, Oka Missionary District, is inviting all to the powerful encounter with God at our 12th district convocation. It is a time of divine empowerment, spiritual refreshing, and life transformation, tagged They That Know Their God. Come and experience the power of God through worship, prayer, and the word. Date Sunday 7th September 2025. Time 8 a.m. Venue First Great Gospel Church, Oka District Headquarters at St. John Bus Stop, Ifitoka. Ministry Professor Mike Anyangokolo and other anointed ministers of God. Host Reverend Sam and Pastor Mrs. Uche Uso. Don't miss this life-transforming encounter. Come and be strengthened, refreshed, and equipped for exploit, because they that know their God shall be strong and do exploit.
Welcome back to Press Review here on ABS 88.5 FM. We're taking a look now at the stories coming from the national dailies today. Kicking off with stories coming from Vanguard, we have on the banner headline, Opposition mounts against federal government 5% tax on petrol, diesel. Riders say stakeholders push against Tinubu's 5% fuel tax. Will mobilize Nigerians against its JAF vows. Why Tinubu's 5% fuel tax should wait, coming from Peter Obi. 5% petrol tax is 5% petrol tax, a cruel burden on struggling Nigerians, coming from ADC. Moving on, the federal government makes tax identification mandatory for banking allied services. Tinubu's development agenda driven by national interests, not politics, coming from Minister. Osun local government crisis, Algon. APC disagree over secretaries to account. That should be secretaries' signatories to accounts with CBN. We won't allow APC rig 2027 polls, coming from Ambassador Yisa. Police invite El-Rufai ADC leaders over alleged conspiracy, incitement. Writers say ex-governor flays move to stop opposition meetings. And from the world of sports on Vanguard, World Cup qualifiers 2026, Super Eagles focus on Amavubi, not Bafana Bafana, coming from Ekong. Moving on to the Punch this morning. From the Punch on the banner headlines, Afenifere Northern leaders demand state police amid delays. Riders say federal government defends delay, says security reforms undergoing due process framework or states. Afenifere MBF Pandef insists state policing overdue. Northern leaders press for action. Train derailment sparks NRC reorganization. Panic as 5 bodies found along the Lagos River bank. The CBT WAEC mandates 250 computers, CCTV for schools. Still on the Punch, Oshun Algun challenges CBN over local government account signatories. Jonathan blames betrayal for 2015 election loss. New parties seeking INEC registration surged to 171. The federal government seeks fresh $1.75 billion World Bank loan. Just saw earlier this week, in fact on Wednesday, that the federal government told us we've gotten to revenue benchmark, no more borrowing. And now we're saying federal government seeks fresh $1.75 billion World Bank loan.
So what happened on Wednesday when we say we're not going to borrow again? If we should stop this thing.
Well, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune on the border headline, most Nigerian politicians not dependable. Coming from Jonathan, writer says politics in Nigeria is about betrayals. They will tell you something this minute, in the next 1 hour say another, he adds. I think Jonathan is finally speaking up. 1,844 killed in southeast Nigeria between January 2021 and June 2023. Coming from Amnesty International. Tinubu embarks on 10 working days vacation, departs for Europe. Safe journey, Mr. President. The Lagos government warns over looming environmental collapse of lagoon. Commissioner condemns illegal dredging. Oshun Algon raises alarm over alleged plot to divert local government funds. One CBN governor to investigate how the bank opened local government accounts with APC members as signatories instead of civil servants. Their submission jacks merit should be ignored. Coming from Oshun APC. Still on Nigerian Tribune, non-oil revenue target will be tackles Tinubu. Wants president to suspend new tax regime, says leadership is about reducing burden. And finally from the Nigerian Tribune, showdown looms between Aedatiwa local government bosses on FAC funds. Let's have your thoughts on the story so far. We have a lot to talk about this morning, from borrowing to Oshun local government, a lot and a whole lot this morning. And Jonathan finally speaking up about betrayal from 2015 to 2025.
Okay, let me react on Vanguard. Opposition mounts against FD's 5% tax on petrol.
Yes.
Diesel. It's quite unfortunate the way we're going about this tax issue in Nigeria currently, because I don't understand. Initially, when this government came into power in May 2023, the first should I say gift they gave to Nigerians they say the subsidy is gone. And their reason of removing subsidy, according to them, was they actually wanted us to have more money and then stop borrowing. That was the reason they gave, because the subsidy they're paying is actually making Nigeria to spend more on subsidizing petroleum products. And then after the lower subsidy, a lot of money, there's much money for the states, much money for the federal government, but the borrowing keep happening. In fact, after the subsidy removal, tremendous increment in borrowing was continued. We were still borrowing, and even as now we are still borrowing. The news of being we are now subsistent in terms of whatever the money is a lie. Just like the statistics we are having, some of the statistics in terms of employment, it's that most of them are not true. Even the inflation now, the normal inflation rate is being jeopardized. I mean, they will say that this month is this. These are not statistics. They remove some variable that they use to compute all those statistics, and then it's giving a fake result. Okay, all the borrowing that we have, there's no more subsidy, and we are still borrowing. Now, we want to increase VAT by 2026.
Yeah.
From 7.5%, if you get to 10 or whatever, they said that okay, by next 2027 they will see a high up to 15%. And we want to increase, bring in tax. Tax, just like some countries, and for example, even Canada has stopped carbon tax as at April 2025 this year. And even those countries that collect carbon tax, they have tax rebate, which they give back to the people. When you file your tax, they will pay you back. And now you want to implement 5% tax on petroleum product that some people cannot afford to buy. Most people, they have parked their cars at home. They don't even drive again. Because they will consider it's actually cheaper to use commercial. It's cheaper now to take public transport. Yeah. So those people that are driving now, they may be people that for luxury, or maybe they feel they can afford it. For comfortability. You know. But it's cheaper to take public transport now. So many have parked their car, they cannot even afford fuel. Now you want to start taxing a dying economy. People cannot even, cost of living is extremely high now. Inflation everywhere. People cannot even afford food, the basic necessities of life. And then we are bringing, and this century now, we heard that they are talking about increasing the salaries of political office holders. I don't know whether you've heard about that one. Yeah. Labor fought for a minimum wage, and paltry small increment was given, which amounts to nothing. After so much dragging and all that, and the increment is in fact it amounts to nothing to commensurate with the inflation that we're experiencing now. So what is all this tax? And this coming 2026, there are the new list that they signed into, there are more tax Nigerians will experience. Let me tell you, all those things we talk about people making choices in every election year. Whatever choices we make will come back to haunt us drastically. I don't know whether we make the choice or whether it was imposed on us, but what we're experiencing now is terrible. And I want Nigerians, listen, when Goodluck introduced increased the very product, that was 2012 or thereabout, people carry their mattresses and carry their pots and all that and barricaded everywhere and blocked. Ojota was filled with a mattress and people were cooking. And so what gave it. Nigerians are kind of, I don't know, even the opposition we have there, they are only on social media talking. You don't become an opposition by writing on social media. You have to come out, and because people are actually suffering in this country. Why are you taxing people 5%? So if I go to petrol station and then buy fuel now, I will pay 5% tax on whatever amount I bought. It's totally unacceptable.
Let's hear from you.
Well, it's been terrible in Nigeria, and I can tell you that parents especially are suffering. That's why recently state government announced reduction, according to your news bulletin, that the Commissioner of Education is cautioning principle against sharp practices, which is very, very good, and it's a very good move. But I think the Ministry of Education will also have a dictated phone number where people could call in to tell what's happening in their area, because some principals and some schools, even at this hard time, are still manipulating the parents to pay much more than they're supposed to pay. And I think it's a good move, because virtually everywhere everything is increasing every day, and the salaries remain the same. And I think the salary earners are receiving, they are the people that are receiving these pains of economic downturn much more than the business people, because naturally a person will increase his or her price of goods to match the prevailing economic problems or troubles. But before a salary earner, you earn the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is this: the commissioner move is a very good one. The principals of these schools shall be monitored continually, so that they will give some parents relief and society relief. And I think also the federal government is using this kind of can I say management game or management I don't know how to put it properly, for proper understanding, in a way that you impoverish the people, make people poor, make them lack, so that they will not have the strength to fight you back. So you impoverish people to make sure that they don't rise up against your negative policies. I think that's what is playing out now. But I think Anambra State government is doing well in so many areas by free education, hospital, free almost, and every other thing that they've done in the state to improve the well-being of Anambrarians.
Well, and on education as well, from the Punch, CBT, because most examination bodies in the country actually moving towards CBT tests. WAEC is mandating 250 computers and CCTV for schools. Now this is in line to kick off the WAEC exams on the CBT level. Neko Singh. So
yes, I hear that.
Is that a reality?
That CBT of 18 for WAEC, I don't even know how it can be, how practical it can be.
It's actually practical.
It's possible.
There's OBJ and there's theory. So the OBJ will be written as a CBT.
Yes, but most schools that have exam centers, in their school, can they afford to have all those computer whatever for their students? That's one thing, because I heard that according to WAEC, that maybe some the schools that cannot afford that will have to be moved to
another center. Yeah.
And again, just like JAM, the issue of JAM, sometimes we used to have it in terms of their system and all this, and you have, after the result is published, and people will start coming and say this is not my result and all that. How can we be able to, because of the number of candidates that will be taking that every year, and we can't afford to start having that year graduates in WAEC, because JAM just maybe one day or this one is all the subjects, and they also say that there will be no paper again, like the normal theory paper. The question will be projected, and the students will be given answers to write. If we want to implement that, I think they should start with some schools. They should start to test. I'm suggesting they should run it with some schools and then see the efficacy. Then if it is good, if they can do it, then other schools can join, because there are some schools in remote areas which may not even have the facilities and what it takes. And moving people from remote areas to a city that can afford such facilities, I don't think it's. I'm still seeing that process as if something that might not.
I think the only problem here is the schools being able to get up to 250 computers.
And for schools, they have more than, like schools, they have up to 1,000 students, like in WAEC.
Which school has up to 1,000 students? In SS3.
Yes. So schools do.
So getting that the computers is one thing, getting the CCTV is another. But in a situation where we've seen tertiary institutions write their examinations with CBT. In fact, for my postgraduates, we wrote a particular course with CBT, and immediately you submit, you see your score, right? But there are schools that you submit, you will not see your score. It will be later you will see it online. So it depends on which pattern they want to use. I don't see a problem with using CBT to write an OBJ. At least we are moving into a technical world. We're talking about AI here, whereas abroad they're talking about SI. They have passed AI.
I'm only concerned about the whole glitch of 18 and system malfunctioning and all that. And
for instance, Federal Polytechnic Oko, which is my alma mater, my school, Obenga Tertiary Institution, we did CBT from my ND 1 second semester through to my HND final first semester, and we've not had any glitch. So it's just about having the right system, right? So it's just about having the right system.
I think if INEC can have glitch, no another person will not have glitch. See,
so whenever they want to judge,
yes, because that determines the future.
You're talking about JAM will just once.
Wait, let me tell you what I mean by it.
You cannot just say it's once.
I remember we started using JAM, CBT JAM from 2013.
Yeah, do you know that this JAM of 18, that's this year's one that was massive, and people started talking about it. Do you know it might be happening other years, but maybe the percentage is just very little, that nobody will, because will not even be considered at all.
No, it's not. NECO is going towards CBT. WAEC is going towards
my
CBT.
take is here.
Let's not be computerized at this point.
If you don't pay somebody the right salary, it can glitch anything.
Of course.
Like because if the teachers are not paid well, and the salary doesn't come on time, they can do anything to have money to feed their family.
I think the issue here should be how schools in rural areas can actually get all these facilities.
I think what they are trying to do is to make sure that they have a genuine result. There will be no forgery, there will be no malpractices and all that. That's why all these changes. Because I think Nigeria is not ready for this high-tech computer age for juniors and all that. Yet we are not prepared.
We actually have what it takes. We have. I do really have what it takes. These are things that they'll put into ground to make sure that all these things are put in place. You don't just cancel the entire idea that is wrong. We are not ready. So when are we going to be ready?
They can start with some pilot schools that can do that. Maybe good schools that have the facilities and all that. Pilot schools with some schools. Then they will test run it maybe 1 year, 2 years. Then the third year they must have seen their lapses and then see the mistakes. Then other schools can join.
I just like when they started this SSS, that is GSS and SSS. That's 6 years secondary school running system. It was class 5 initially. So when they started with some schools. They didn't start with every school. They started with some few schools, and
so there should be a test run.
Yes, it should be.
All right, let's take this call from here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jonathan and Emma. I come from Obuka in the rural south of Anambra.
All right, go on, Jonathan.
I thank the discussants there. They are making a point. But I want to tell my view.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
My view and my observation is that, number one, the students didn't want to read again. That is number one. And then that brought about the teachers helping them with their money. And you can see a student who didn't read at all, only to look for money to give the teacher to help him or her explanation. So if there is anything to do, the parents and the teachers has a very big thing to do. Because if you are, I take myself as an example.
Okay.
If I didn't read, I would not pass some courses in my exam. So I found out that some of these students didn't want to read. They only press their phone, make all sorts of nonsense with the phone, and the phone you see a student bend down to read his or her book. It is very hard.
Okay, thank you so much for that amazing contribution. When person read, you know, read the CBT call me. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Edward.
Good morning. Welcome to Press Review.
And just in the studio. Good morning, everybody.
You're welcome. Your name and location.
This is Comrade Ubukachi from this Oka. Let me go on the follow you. The federal government is looking for. All this money they are seeking for is the money they normally share within themselves. And this particular one they are trying to borrow now is for 2000 and the upcoming elections. So that the APC will continue to rule for 2 years. And we should be very surprised that when they remove the subsidy, they are still siphoning the money. When the subsidy is there, they are the cabal siphoning the money. So let APC rule Nigeria even 24 years or more, until when we get to the place of completely Nigeria will collapse, and that's the issues of Nigeria.
We don't go collapse. People say until we collapse. Where will they collapse? Holy Ghost fire.
Okay, this message here says, good morning, dear distinguished moderator and analyst, Koboch Tatamara Yima. And don't dissent on people saying that 2027 can't be rigged without moving motion that will propel INEC and judiciary to be independent. Without that, we can never get it right in Nigeria. Again, 5% federal government tax on fuel shows insensitive of the government to the plight and sufferings of the people. Every day, people struggle to eat one square. Still, our government is busy imposing taxes on Nigerians. Another borrowing when they told us 2 days ago that they have generated more revenue last month in the issue of Nigeria. What is going on in Nigeria? Oh my God. Thanks to Kenneth and Sekei from Umweze, Umunachi. Thank you so much. Once again, huge thank you to our guest right here in the studio, Honorable Uche Chira. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning, and as well as Engineer Sochuku Okafor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here we come to the end of the show. My name is Uche Chukwu Ebo, and I'm up next and happy to dawn the show. Make sure you're here. No go anywhere. I'm going to